Hello and welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint Show. I am your host, Jay Jones. Black Entrepreneur Blueprint was created specifically to educate and inspire Black entrepreneurs to launch, build, and grow successful businesses. Join us as we help build an economic power base in the Black community by promoting business ownership. If you are currently an entrepreneur or want to be an entrepreneur, we invite you to join us every week here at Black Entrepreneur Blueprint.
Welcome to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, episode number 268. I'm your host, Jay Jones, and today we have an outstanding show in store for you. I'm going to repeat that, family. This is an outstanding show. We're going to be talking to the founder of Curls Natural Hair Care, Miss Mahisha Dellinger. Mahisha left her corporate job and transitioned to her own business, and now Curls is found in hundreds of thousands of retailers worldwide. So we're going to talk to Mahisha about her entrepreneurial journey, her struggles, and her triumphs. So stay tuned. Now, before we get to today's episode, I just want to share a few things with the BEB family, including a special announcement. But first and foremost, I want to welcome all first-time listeners to Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Welcome to the BEB family. Please stick around until the end of today's episode, and I'm going to give out all of my social media contact information, and please connect with me on every platform. Now, if you're interested in building a successful, sustainable e-commerce business, please check out my new book, A New Black Wall Street, Circulating the Black Dollar Worldwide by Building Successful E-Commerce Businesses. You can go to anewblackwallstreet.com and pick yourself up a copy. I recommend that you go get the ebook version because the ebook version is updated and it has several bonus chapters and a fast start guide. It is $9.95 in ebook version, $14.95 in physical print version. anewblackwallstreet.com. Pick yourself up a copy. If you need additional assistance building your successful e-commerce business, I've created a compatible online course titled educatedecommerce.com. So go to educatedecommerce.com and you can enroll in the course. Now, if you've listened to the show for any period of time, you know it's all about Black economic empowerment. And the way to do that, family, is circulating dollars in the Black worldwide economy. So I've created two platforms, BeSmartByBlack.com and HireBlackFreelancers.com, HIRE blackfreelancers.com. If you are a Black product creator and you want to connect with Black consumers worldwide, upload your products to BeSmartByBlack.com. It's free. If you are a freelancer, if you do anything on Fiverr or freelancer.com, upload your information on HireBlackFreelancers.com and connect with Black businesses and consumers worldwide who are looking to spend money with Black freelancers. Also, I'm giving you a lot of information. So if you go to bebconnect.com, bebconnect.com, all of the information that I'm telling you right now is there and you can click on that. So check out bebconnect.com. Also, if you want to request me to speak at an event, college, university, book tour, whatever, please go to bookjjones.com, fill out the short form, and I'll get right back to you. And I want to apologize up front, family. I have two important announcements that I have to get out today. So please bear with me. First and foremost, Detroit, I'm coming at you this Saturday, September 14th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. I'm going to be at the Northwest Activity Center, 18100 Myers Road in Detroit, 48235. Once again, Saturday, September 14th. This Saturday coming up, 12 noon to 2 p.m. It is free admission. Bring your family, bring your friends. I'm going to be doing a book talk about my book, A New Black Wall Street, and we're going to be doing a discussion afterwards. So anything you want to ask me about entrepreneurship, about the book, about the concept of A New Black Wall Street, I'm there for you, Detroit. Looking forward to shaking hands and kissing babies out there in Detroit. Once again, this Saturday, September 14th, 12 noon to 2 p.m., free admission at the Northwest Activity Center, 18100 Myers Road in Detroit. Is free. Come on out and bring all your family and friends. I'm looking forward to meeting the Detroit faction of the BEB family. And this last announcement is imperative because as a serial entrepreneur and a coach myself, and trying to build up the Black economic power base, it's imperative that our businesses succeed. So I wanted to share this other opportunity with you. As a serial entrepreneur and longtime business coach, the number one reason I've found that businesses fail is because they do not have enough leads. Let me repeat that. The reason most businesses fail is because they do not have enough leads. So here's how most businesses work. No leads equals no prospects equals no customers equals no sales equals no business, i.e. you're going out of business. And what happens is most people only focus on their product or service that they're going to sell, and they never think about who they're going to sell to. And that's actually backwards. So on Wednesday evening, September 18th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, I'm going to be doing a live training. NoBSLeadGeneration.com. Go to NoBSLeadGeneration.com, and it's how to constantly or consistently generate new leads for your business. So the focus of your business every day should be adding people to your list. If that's not one of your priorities or one of your major metrics, you're going to be out of business. You're going to do the no leads, no prospects, no customer, no sales, no business dance. Okay? You need to focus on bringing in new leads every day. Generating leads is your business. Okay? Now, this training is actually going to be the guts of my new course, NoBSLeadGeneration.com, which is going to retail for $497. Now, what I'm looking for is 10 people who want to participate in the training for only $97. And I'll tell you how this works. Now, the retail price of the program, No BS Lead Generation, when it goes live is $497. Now, when you come into the live training, if you're one of the first 10 people, in addition to the guts of the training, which is actually the what and the how, okay, how you generate leads consistently to build your business, you're also going to get an hour consultation from me. Now, normally, anybody who's gotten any information about my coaching program, they know that I charge $300 per hour for coaching. So you're actually getting a $797 retail value for $97. So the course, when it goes live, is $497. 1 hour of coaching and consulting with me is $300 an hour. And that's the reason I can only take 10 people, because I can't do an hour of coaching for 100 people or 200 people or whoever. So go to NoBSLeadGeneration.com and be one of the first 10 to register. Now, you're probably asking, who is this for? So if you're a current entrepreneur, you need leads. The more leads you get, the more money you make. So if you're a current entrepreneur, if you're a prospective entrepreneur, you need to register for the No BS Lead Generation training. Once again, most people try to work on their product or service first as opposed to building their list. They're doing it backwards. So you need to be there. Current entrepreneurs, prospective entrepreneurs. And also, if you're interested in starting a lead generation business, I did an episode several months back about how to start a lead generation business. So if you learn how to generate leads for yourself, then guess what? You can generate leads for other businesses. Do you think other businesses will pay for that? Of course they will. You can have a nice 6, even 7-figure business building a lead generation business. And one of the beauties of building a lead generation business or knowing how to generate leads is it doesn't matter what type of product or service you have. If you know the system, you're going to be able to generate those leads. So let's take an example. So you hear a lot of people talk about, oh, we do $1 million in sales, right? So say, for example, you have a list. You generated over 50,000 leads. on your list and you put out an offer and it converts by 10%, that means 5,000 people purchased whatever you were selling. So that's with a 50,000 name list. Now, if you had 1,000 name list, right, and 10% of people purchase, that means you sold 100 units, okay? And 10% is normally pretty high. So what you see is when people talk about they're in the 2 comma club, they're doing millions of dollars, it's really because they have a big list. And I've said this on many shows. When Borders went out of business, the bookstore, Barnes & Nobles did not buy the physical locations. They bought their database. Your database is the most important asset of your business. That's what people are buying. They're buying your customers. So if you don't have any customers, guess what? Nobody's going to look to buy your business because guess what? You'll probably be out of business. So for the first 10 people, please go to nobsleadgeneration.com. Nobsleadgeneration.com for the live training Wednesday evening, September 18th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, here's the caveat. Even if you miss the training, if you're one of the first 10 to get in, don't worry about it because the training will be recorded. Now, the benefit is you can watch the recording, partake in the actual training, and when you have the one-on-one consultation with me, you'll still be up to speed just like you were there live. So once again, guys, I can only take the first 10 people. So please go to nobsleadgeneration.com, register for the live training. If you try to register and it does not let you register, that means all the slots are sold out. So once again, it's $97 for a $797 value, which includes the live training, which is the guts of the No BS Lead Generation course, which is coming out in a few weeks. And you also get the 1 hour free coaching and consultation with me, which is a $300 value. So go to nobsleadgeneration.com and I'll see you on the live training. All right, family, let's get to our interview with Miss Mahisha Dellinger, the founder of Curls. We are on the line with Miss Mahisha Dellinger, the founder of Curls and also the host of Mind Your Business on the OWN Network. That's right, family. Oprah Winfrey Network. So we got some good stuff coming today, family. So Mahisha, how are you this afternoon?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. We appreciate you taking out your busy schedule to hang out with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. So for people that don't know who you are, can you give us a little background about yourself in your own words, and then we'll move into your story and your entrepreneurial story. So who is Mahisha Dellinger?
Mahisha Dellinger. Wow. Mahisha Dellinger is a young woman, and I say emphasis on young, a woman from Sacramento, California, born and raised and, into a dysfunctional cycle of generational poverty and wanted to change her destiny. So she took a leap out on faith. And number one, was the first person in her family to finish high school and then go on to college. And from college, went on to work in corporate America, landed a gig at Intel Corporation, and experienced my firsthand corporate racism, and was immediately turned off and decided I was going to work for myself and never let anyone ever control my destiny. He had attempted to get rid of me a few times. So it was my light bulb moment going through that stress that I would never work for anyone else in my life. And I launched out on my own and created my brand, Curls Beauty Brands. And that was back in 2002 when there weren't a lot of options for women with natural hair, but we were at the cusp of that new movement that went from, all the women foregoing relaxers and going natural. So we offered solutions for those women of color. So fast forward today, we started as like 100% e-commerce based. And then fast forwarded to maybe 7 years later, got a call from Target. They wanted Curls to be one of their original 4 pioneering brands to launch this new category. Before that, the buyer had all relaxers, Jerry curl products, hair grease, etc. And she wanted something fresh and live. She saw that her sales were down and she wanted to, liven it up. So we were one of the original 4s that 4 brands that came in to launch this, what they call newly natural category. They gave us a test in 105 stores and said, if we do well, we'll continue to grow with you. If not, we'll, ship you your product back and be along your merry way. Well, we all did exceptionally well. And we grew from 100 stores to 300 to 6, 8, and then nationwide. And along the way, we wind up having, getting lots of calls from every other retailer, from CVS, Sally, Walgreens, Rite Aid, et cetera. Everyone started calling after that exposure and Target. So now Curls is available. And if any retail store you walk in, you'd see Curls internationally as well. And we are thriving and striving forward.
That's an amazing story. You couldn't have written a book better than that. I'm telling you, that's the hero's journey. Let me ask you, so was there one specific incident at Intel that pushed you over the top to start your business, or was it an accumulation of things?
It was actually, for sure, one specific thing that happened, and that was the time he put me, Mr. Lyle McCarthy is his name. He put me on a corrective action plan, and that's Intel's way of getting rid of you in 60 days. 60 days. I'm sorry, 6 months. And so I knew what that meant, where he was going. Mm-hmm. And I was a young single mother that could not afford to not have a salary. And I remember it was just incredibly stressful every day because he could get rid of me at any moment on that plan, during that plan time frame. I remember praying and going, God, you have to move this man out of my life, out of this area, move him, because he's blocking me. I tried to exit out by interviewing out, and he would trash my name. I couldn't get out. Wow. He wound up taking a promotion in Malaysia and left. He went with Intel, but still Malaysia. And I was able to get a different manager. Then I had my review, and this manager rated me faster than my peers, gave me a bonus, stock options, raise. And it was under the same exact umbrella of duties I was doing for Mr. McCarthy. So I was vindicated. I knew that, though. But I could have, at that moment, when I moved on, sat and go, okay, that's great. I got through that. No, it was my light bulb moment. Like, I don't want that to happen again, because I remember how it felt being in the midst of that. And that's what pushed me. And that set of activities during that 4-month period definitely changed my mindset.
How much longer did you stay at Intel after your manager relocated?
Yeah, so he wound up getting a replacement, as I mentioned. And so I was there for about maybe 4 months after, and I interviewed out of that department. Intel's huge. And I went to a different department. And during that time, I was launching Curls. I was working on the website, R&D, and all of that, et cetera, as I was working at Intel. But I quickly realized I could not do both. It wasn't going to work. Because it just really, being in that office, it requires a lot of commitment and hard work, and I couldn't do both there. And I had to be stuck in the office 8 to 5. So I left and went to Pfizer Pharmaceuticals, and I sold legal drugs for Pfizer. And that gave me my flexibility to be not in an office, but still working. So I was able to see all my doctors required in a day by noon. And then I would come home at noon and work on Curls. So I did that, where I kept my salary to reinvest back into the family and not take a dime out of Curls. So everything that was made in Curls, I put back into Curls. And then what was made from Pfizer, paid the bills. And I did both for very, very long, too long.
Okay. Now I want the light bulb to go off to the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family. And I always talk about leverage. So what Mahisha basically did was she leveraged her income from her job, from her salary. And then that helped her build her business. And I always talk about this to you're right on point, Mahisha. You don't exhaust the funds from your new business because you have to reinvest to continue to build and grow. Right. And you're in trouble when you have to eat off of your new business right away, and you can't leave money in the business to continue to invest. So was that a strategy that you already predetermined to use? Or was it just something, this makes sense to me?
No, at the time, I didn't have a name or strategy per se for it, but I was also very fiscally responsible. And it only made sense to me that I need to make sure that I'm not a big risk taker. So as much as, I mean, entrepreneurs, we are risk takers, but beyond the norm, I'm not going to traditionally risk much. So I knew that I had responsibilities, and I could not afford to gamble that on not knowing if it was going to be successful or not. And then also not being able to grow it. If you take the money out of a brand, how do you grow it? Like you said. So I knew that. I mean, I was a business major. So, but I also very fiscally responsible.
In terms of the actual product idea and formulation, was it something that you were doing on your own at home, or did you just come up with the idea? Was it a solution to a personal problem, or how did that come about, picking this product and then the R&D on it to get it where you wanted it to be?
Yes, I actually, it was, the best businesses are born from filling an untapped need. And so I was a newly natural mother that wanted products that were good for my hair. I have naturally curly hair, but didn't want to relax it, but also wanted to control it to some degree, like, beautify it, make it gorgeous and make it look good and have all the items you need to do that. And I always was looking and experimenting, could never find the right solution. So yes, I was the consumer. And that's kind of how it was born out of that need.
Was there any particular instance that made you say, okay, this is good for me, I'm going to take it to the next level? Because what happens with I talk to a lot of prospective entrepreneurs and obviously current entrepreneurs, and I do coaching and things like that. But a lot of times people will take it to the level where they'll solve their problem. They may start bottling stuff and selling it to their coworkers or things like that, but it never gets to the next level with mass production. So did you have that in mind once you started the business?
Well, that's ultimately where I wanted to be. I actually, I did. Ultimately, that's what I wanted to be. I wasn't able to get into stores as quickly as I had hoped. We were able to go scale. Well, I did have a chemist. And so, yes, everything was born from out of day one. It was mass produced. I didn't do it in my kitchen. It was something I got professionally mass produced, and then wanted to go directly to retail, but that didn't work. Thank God it didn't, because I could have lost the business, because if you don't keep up sales, you can go out of business quickly with all the fees.
Right.
So I'm glad I didn't get that opportunity that I was praying for, because it would have been for the demise of the company.
It's funny because I've had products. One of my first products when I started, before the internet really took off, I used to tell people, everybody's telling me, hey, I want to get to the big box stores. I said that costs money, number one, for production. If the product doesn't sell through, and you mentioned it, guess what happens?
Yeah.
You got to pull it back. So if you're not getting quality shelf space, visibility, and it's funny, I have a young brother that I kind of mentor, and he wants to get this CBD beard oil into retail chains. And I said, the first thing you need to do is you need to build up your following, number one, and you need to build up sales on the internet first before you even think about trying to go into a major.
Absolutely. Yes, that is 110% right, because if you can't build up sales online, you can't sustain it on the store.
So that was a big thing. And he was like, I never thought about it. I said, I get it, because it's just the first time you're doing it. So, Mahisha, so when did you know that you had something special on your hands? Was there a special moment or something happened that you were like, hey, this is it?
I don't know when I knew. The point is, I'm not the stop to smell the roses kind of girl. Like so it's never good enough. I'm continuing to move forward and progress and improve. And I never stop and go, oh, this is great. I'm like, no, it's on to next. And as soon as you stop and slow down, you're done. So I don't know. I feel like I have to keep evolving, and I don't know, keep making it, better in every way possible. And my evolution of how I formulate has always been clean, but now it's even more green, so just improving and growing and hearing from our consumers. So, I personally and my brand, we have to keep up with what the consumer needs and wants. So you can never go, oh yeah, this is special. It may not be.
Exactly. or it may be special for that period of time, right?
Yes.
So what did you do? Because you said you started online, correct? Selling online?
Yes.
Okay. What did you do to market the product online where you got up enough inertia or following to get you to the point that Target called you? Did you do a lot of online marketing? Did you do in-store marketing or at fairs, festivals? How did you do that? Because one of the things that a lot of my listeners are trying to do is learn how to market their new products that they're bringing to market. So How did you get that velocity going?
Well, I can tell you again, I did this a while ago, so it is so much easier for the people today. I launched pre-social media. I didn't have Instagram or any followers, influencers to boost the products for me. It was definitely grassroots marketing and a limited budget. So today you can go to market much quicker and efficiently without all the extra legwork that I did. So it was for me a lot of gifting, going to where the consumer is. So I didn't have money for the TV spots, magazine ads, none of that. But I launched in certain chat groups that were targeted to women of color and women with textured hair. We sampled a lot with events, every event where wherever a Black woman would be, we would be. And then also having got my street team ambassadors. I created my first set of ambassadors on a team in New York, launched there, and then rolled out the program in all other major cities. So, and then use those people as foot soldiers to work events. And we still do that. So, it's like finding, and each thing is unique, and a lot of SEO too, since I was e-commerce based. Think about back then, social media SEO was huge for my .com sales, huge.
Okay. Wow.
And so ranking high back then, ranking high for curly hair care, curls products. Those kind of words were bringing in the people and to get either brand awareness and or purchase. So it was really very targeted.
Do you think it's harder now for people to break into the natural hair space because of all the competition?
I don't think it's hard. I felt like it could be hard to get on the shelf, but it's definitely, we've made it much easier for them to get attention. I know all the all the pioneering brands along with mine, like Curls and others, we've made it easier for everyone, for you to get attention, because before they weren't really checking for us. They didn't really care about the transition of women with natural hair. It was really what's selling. And what was selling were relaxers. And then once that stopped, then they had to really become aware of her. They didn't have to think before. The buyers didn't have to think before when buying. Jerry curl juice, perms, and grease. Put that all in the box. There we go. But now they're like, okay, so this consumer is different. And so she needs more. And so let me be conscious and aware of what brands I'm bringing in. Let me check what they're doing on social media. Are people following them? Are they getting lots of hits? Those buyers are on social media, like a lot.
Wow.
So like you said about getting your following up, for sure. If you create enough of a buzz, you can definitely get someone's attention.
That's great to know. So anybody that has a product-based business, especially if it's in the natural space or whatever, please take note of what Mahisha is telling you, because she's obviously an expert. You hear what she told you. How many stores?
Several 100,000.
Yeah.
No, hundreds.
Wow.
Hundreds.
Wow. Hundreds. That's amazing.
Hundreds of thousands of stores.
How big was your staff when you first started, and how big is it now? Well, I know it probably was just you, right?
One. And then 1.5, because my husband would help. So 1.5. Okay. And then we went from 1.5 to I hired this really hardworking, amazing Vietnamese man who came in, and gentleman, he was a local student, and he worked for me and packed in my hot garage. And I don't know why I didn't go to jail for that. My garage was a sweat box. He would come from school and pack the orders at noon. Cool. And then get them ready for the pickup at 3. And that's what our routine was. That was his part-time job. And I remember him saying, his name was Paul. He said, I can't wait to be able to say later when you become big that I used to work for you when you first started. And I was like, wow. He had a lot of, a lot of belief in the company. And then from there, we started growing, and I wind up having all of his friends come. I'm like, I need someone else. Do you know anyone? And then I know someone, and then we grew. And you know anyone else? It became his whole crew of his friends who were extremely hard workers. And then I needed to really get legit and move out of my office at home. I got a location and hired office staff, etc. So it was definitely a transition.
Cool. What are you doing right now in terms of employees right now? Do you have a lot now, or do you use virtual assistants or?
No, well, we have about over 250 ambassadors that work for us, and we're somewhere every weekend, and sometimes in multiple cities in one weekend. So you'll find curls girls everywhere. And then we have, those are including our Curls on Campus girls. And then there are HBCUs and regular colleges that work for us too.
Oh, wow.
And then we have, 20 in the office.
So you have a nice staff. And
exactly. That's important now for me to have, now that I took a beat and and I need to hire, looking at I have so many beautiful women of color on my team. It's just phenomenal. And then also staff inside, but it's great to be able to do so.
Exactly.
But with that said, we also have some things to do collectively to work together better. And sometimes, if you're working for another Black business, give your best.
Exactly. Or
anywhere, of course, for your own reputation, but that's been a struggle.
I want to transition in a minute to your show on the OWN network, but I wanted to ask you, what motivates you to get up and do what you do every day? What pushes you to do that? Well,
definitely 110% is my children. My goal is to always give them a different experience, different legacy, and outlook on life. You can walk in feeling beat up in the world if you come from such despair as I did. Now, I want to turn that around into something else. I use it for my good. That whole desire, it either creates grit in you or makes you fold. The level of challenges I had growing up. So it gave me grit. So for my children, I want to make sure they're set up successfully. And that's why I drive so hard here.
Makes a lot of sense. So you're using that negative experience for positive impact, motivation.
Yes. Experience level. You will experience levels of success and then also quote unquote failures. I feel like failure isn't final. They're lessons. And through the process, it kind of builds up that muscle, that strength. But I feel like what I've learned with the areas where I quote unquote failed, or, I learned that number one, I thought because I had many, many successes that this additional launch that I threw out was going to also be successful. So you can't make an assumption. I think you kind of can get comfortable after you have so much success. And that was the thing that I had to quickly realize. Just because I brought this out doesn't mean it's going to be well received. Don't slack. Keep up on your data, your customers, and just be cautious and deliberate. And I had to learn that because I really did get caught up in my business success. So
that makes sense.
Shifted my mindset quite a bit, and it was a very expensive lesson to learn. It was because of the success I have. Everywhere I go, my retailers take whatever and put my products on the shelf. So if you bomb, though, they get taken off no matter who you are. So that was an expensive lesson.
Mahisha is telling you that even though she has that success, you still have to continue to push forward and, be ahead of the curve. I think one of the greatest things, Mahisha, I don't know if you did it on purpose or not, but it seemed like you had some tremendous timing and you understood the landscape of what Black hair or what it was about to transition into. And you were able to take advantage of it. You were smart enough to recognize it because you were solving a problem for yourself and take advantage and leverage that opportunity. So I big kudos to you on that. So
thank you.
Yeah, big kudos to you on that. So now we want to transition to Mahisha, the TV star. So how did the TV show come about? And did you get a chance to meet Oprah?
Okay, so yes, I did get a chance to meet Oprah. It was brief though. It was too many people around her. Like, it's like trying to touch the hem of Jesus's garment when you're around Oprah, because there's so many people, right? But we met. But the show happened because I was approached by a producer who wanted to do a show on the Black beauty haircare brand owners. And I was like, oh, that sounds interesting. If it's the right set of women, I can do it. That fell through. And then he remembered me when they were looking to do this show for OWN. And he said, I have the perfect person. And so I came in, had a meeting with her staff and her number one decision maker on shows. And then because they didn't believe I was real, they thought I was a unicorn or something. And so they had to see me in person. And so I came in and we talked about the show's concept, and John Sinclair is his name. And he was one amazing man. And he was like, we're going to call it Mind Your Business with Mahisha. And that's what we're going to call it. So we signed off on the show deal. Started taping
Wow.
maybe about a year later, almost a year, maybe 9 months later in California. And we had 8 episodes, and every episode featured a different Black female-based business. And with their trials, and they were all in different industries. And it was a lot of work in the sense of emotional and giving of myself daily to these women for many, many hours every day. But it was great. It was so fulfilling at the same time because, I was able to see impact. Now, 7 out of the 8 ladies were all, they listened, they, made the changes, and they, saw success. We had one knucklehead, which I won't name who she is. Can't tell her nothing. So, she didn't change. But yes, it was definitely amazing.
I guess it would be considered live or unscripted television.
Yes.
So how much do they actually show of what you're doing? Because I know a lot of times people say in the TV industry, I spend 50 hours doing an interview, but they only showed like 35 minutes. So how much do they really show? And behind the scenes, can you just give us an idea about behind the scenes? So I'm not going to call this gentleman's name out. He was a talk show host that I happen to know stuff was actually scripted. And so, so when I went to like behind the curtain, and I'm like, I knew they had some construction they had to deal with them, but I'm like, this is pretty much acting. And I'm like, look, man, this is what the network wanted. And I was like, okay. But
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. And it was a while ago, so it wasn't anything recent, but it was a major talk. Pretty major talk show guy. I can tell you off the air. But
now I want to know.
I can tell you.
I'm curious.
But so is everything that you see on air, is it just natural?
Yes, on my show, 110%, everything was natural. I'll tell you this. I speak a lot on TV or, at events. I never write a script because I won't remember it. I don't remember. So I could not have done a show if I had to remember lines. And so what they did, they had to learn quickly, probably episode 1.5. Tell me what the goal and objective of this scene is, and I'll get it done. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. So we're going to come in, and we're going to meet her employees, and we're going to talk about the theft that happened. She doesn't know that pull it out of her, whatever. All right, I'll go. And so that's how I worked. And every single episode, it was me speaking without a script, more direction.
Cool.
Just direction of what we're going to do.
All right.
And it took 5 days to make one episode.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
5 days for one episode. My goodness.
Right. But we were going into all these different businesses, and so we had to spend time with them, the ladies and myself, and then the conversion of the business and the reveals, and so a lot of elements there.
Now, is it coming back on?
No, it's actually not. Really? OWN decided to do, because it was on an island by itself without any other business show on the network, and they quite didn't know what to do with it. And they're actually going into, and as you see, more salacious shows on the network. Yeah. Exactly. And so there are now other networks that want to do something with me on the business side. That'll be, the TBD, even if I want to do that again. But it was definitely worthy and worthwhile because we helped so many people. Like, besides the people who were on the show, there are people that were watching that were taking home nuggets, and just from watching as we went through challenges and learned from it. So I love that. I'm glad it's still documented. But it also was the birth of my Black Girls Making Millions Academy. I birthed that after the show. And because I got lots of requests for one-on-one mentoring, which I couldn't do all of that for all those hundreds of people. It was just really impossible, of course. And so I said, well, how can I bring this show to life? And I decided to create an academy where we actually come together for 3 days, have a seminars, workshops, meetings, etc., networking, but real presentations by real experienced people in their fields. I was also one of them. We had experts, etc. And it's called Black Girls Making Millions Academy, creating millionaires one Black girl at a time. And we had 3 different tracks: the startup, the come up, and the blow up. So if you're starting up, then you need to start that camp. If you're the come up is if you're already in business but need help growing, and then the blow up was to pitch for funding. So it was, and it was well ran, it was smooth. We had impactful people that were helping these women, but we had these binders full of materials for the ladies. We had excursions. We had a yacht tour cruise with the ladies and Hawaiian theme. And we had Guy Tori come perform at night and had dinners. And we worked hard, but we played hard. And in a beautiful resort. And it was amazing.
That sounds amazing. Now, I know you have some more of the events coming up. Can you tell us when the next couple events are?
So we're doing the next annual Black Girls Making Millions here in Dallas in June of 2020. But for this December, we're going to Miami. We wanted to do a mid-year check-in, a 2020 check-in for the next year to get your business plans going, your business vision boards going, get 101 business mentoring. So it's a mini version of that, mini version of our typical. And then next year we're back with the full shebang in June.
Wow. Okay. Now, before we close out, I got a few more questions if you have a couple minutes, and then we'll let you give all of your contact information. And you know how the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family does, guys. Anybody that's on the show, we definitely support with all our heart, soul, and mind. So, you know, when Mahisha gives you the contact information, if this makes sense for you, please register for the event, Black Girls Making Millions Academy. Yeah, I can't stick it back in my notebook or anything.
Well, I think we might find a space for you.
There you go. There you go. I'll be quiet. Trust me. You won't even know I'm there. So, like, what type of turnout did you have on your last one?
Yeah, so we kept it very small and we limited it to 70 ladies. I wanted to, like I said, I'm conservative and I'm not a big risk taker. So I wanted to make sure we mastered it before we went big.
There you go.
So now we know the recipe, right? We got it. So now we can just expand it for a bigger family. We sold out in less than 30 minutes as soon as we turned the switch on.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
What's your objective in terms of number of heads in Dallas?
So we're looking in Dallas, Texas, June. Mm-hmm. We're looking to open up to 250.
Okay.
And then next year go to 500. So we're going to do the ramp. We're going to just, keep it copacetic and make sure we're still professional.
Now, when are people able to register for the Dallas event?
Top of the year.
Top of the year. All right. How about Miami?
And follow Black Girls Making Millions Academy. And we have information about the one in Miami there and also how to register.
Okay. Now, can you register for the Miami event now, or is that further out?
Miami now on Black Girls Making Millions Academy.
Okay. And what's the head count for Miami? What are you looking for in terms of?
Miami is going to be small. So we're looking at, it's going to be about 50 ladies. We're going to cap it there because it's a lot of one-on-one opportunities for mentoring. And so we brought back some of the highly requested people that were actually at the first one.
Okay, great. So, all right, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family, you heard that there's scarcity out here. Only 50 spots for Miami. So if you are interested, please make sure you go and you register now while spots are available. So, and it sounds like an event that you don't want to miss. So I appreciate you sharing that with us, Mahisha. And one thing I have to say, just on a personal note, I appreciate what you're doing for the community, sharing your expertise and your know-how.
Yes.
And helping people level up to something that they may not even thought they could become. And that's so important as a role model. And I talk a lot about mentorship on my show. So just because you may not be an quote unquote Oprah Winfrey, you're 10 steps ahead of somebody. You may be 50 steps ahead of somebody else. You may be 3 steps ahead of somebody, but you can always reach back to mentor people and help them continue to level up their business and even their life. So I really respect and appreciate what you're doing for the community and just in general. Your story is an amazing story of perseverance and what can happen when you put your mind to something and you have a plan. So I appreciate that. Yeah, I appreciate
thank you.
Yeah, this is it's almost like I tell people, you don't go and act in a movie without a script. So you need to have a plan, guys.
Yes. You have to have a plan.
So is there anything that I omitted in this interview that you want to share with the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint family?
So one thing we just mentioned was follow me and our academy, Black Girls Making Millions Academy. Follow Curls, which is my company brand. We're doing amazing things. A lot of new collections coming up for every single texture. So follow Curls for an update. We just posted today and about the new collections. And then follow me personally. I do answer every DM. So follow me at Mahisha, Mahisha _Dellinger. Dellinger.
Great. All right. And the Curls website, what's the website, the domain? Is it just curls.com?
Curls.biz.
.biz. Okay.
Yep.
Got you. Curls.biz.
And so we're available at Target stores, CVS, Walmart, Sally, etc. But Target is your number one destination for all of our products.
Cool. Last question I have for you, Mahisha.
Yes.
All right. This is a tough one. You ready for it?
I am.
All right. If you had the opportunity to talk to one person, living or dead, who would it be and why?
Wow. Why'd you give me this hard question? The first person that comes to mind is not business, but it's really my grandmother. She died unexpectedly, and it was not, obviously resolved, and she didn't get a chance to see my kids, her great-grandkids, and she was just an amazing pillar. And if I could speak to her one last time, I would be a happy camper.
Cool. Now, I get all types of answers. Jesus, Marcus Garvey. I've heard the full gamut. So was she a role model to you?
Well, you know what she was, even more importantly, was a stable force in my unstable upbringing.
Okay.
We moved so much. My mom was in and out of, Section 8 housing, lots of dysfunction with living boyfriends and just crazy violence in my neighborhood. And when I went to her house, it was calm. It was stable. I had lots of food. She was loving on me. We were just close, and it was a place of calm for me, peace. It was like an escape.
Is that where you grew up?
In Sacramento, California.
Okay, gotcha. All right. What college did you end up going to? Did you stay on the West?
I was going to go to Spelman, and I was set out to go to Spelman. And then I wound up getting pregnant with my first child, who's now 24, and I stayed home. Okay. So I needed my mother's help. So I had to stay home, and she kept the baby in the evening when I went back to night school until she was old enough to go to daycare. And then I put her in daycare and I went back to day school. But yeah, I couldn't have done it without my mom. Like I had to, I couldn't have done both without her.
That's a support system. If you don't have a support system, I don't know how you can even make it today, but having some support system, be it family, friends, or somebody that's in there with you, so much for taking out your time to be on Black Entrepreneur Blueprint and to talk to your boy, Jay Jones. I appreciate you. And we're looking forward to doing more stuff with you. And
yes.
And once we hang up or stop recording, just want to touch base with you real quick. And
okay.
And I appreciate you there, to coming through and talking to us.
Absolutely. Anytime.
All right. Thank you so much.
Man, oh man, we getting some heavy hitters here on Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Family, we had E.T., Mr. Eric Thomas, the #1 motivational speaker on the show several weeks ago. And now we just interviewed Miss Mahisha Dellinger, who is the founder of Curls, who's in hundreds of thousands of retail locations. I'll repeat that. Hundreds of thousands of retail locations. Now, I just want to give you a few takeaways, or my personal takeaways from today's episode. Number one, what stuck out to me is she said, don't stop to smell the roses, keep evolving. And many times when we have some success, we pat ourselves on the back. But if we keep doing that, we're going to miss the evolution. And sometimes that evolution or lack of evolution can cost us our business. So we need to make sure that we stay focused and stay on track. Also, she mentioned, so any entrepreneurs out there, Mahisha mentioned that she started out online first before she went into the retail space. And what I try to explain to some of my coaching students is that unless you get some buzz and some traction, you're not going to get into the big box stores. And if you do get into the big box stores, by chance, chances are that you're not going to sell through because you don't have anybody that's aware of your product. So always start to try to build your own buzz, and then people will come looking for you like they did Mahisha. So what she also said was that in today's e-commerce world, or today's world in general, she believes that it's easier to launch products. And I'm totally with her on that. So we have social media. You could sit in your basement with your socks and slippers on and be able to start a multi-million-dollar company. So we need to take advantage of the technology that's out there. And so when I talk about in my book, A New Black Wall Street, it's a worldwide economy. So we need to take advantage of that. Now, yes, it may be a little more crowded because there's less barrier to entry. But if you build your foundation right,
You build up your database like I talked about earlier in the show and start generating leads and building a customer base. Then if you have a product that you want to go in a retail location, you can support those retail locations because you have 500,000 people in your database that you can send out to the stores that are going to buy your products and going to sell through. So those were some of the highlights that I took away from Mahisha's interview today. And also, I just want to reiterate, make sure you check out Black Girls Making Millions Academy. It sounds like a tremendous opportunity for you guys to take advantage of. So go check out Black Girls Making Millions Academy. Also, if you're in the Detroit area, don't forget to come out and see your boy this Saturday, September 14th from 12 noon to 2 p.m. at the Northwest Activity Center, 18100 Myers Road in Detroit. Free admission. Looking forward to seeing all the BEB family members in Detroit. Now, before we close out, like I always do, family, thank you so much for doing what you're doing and sharing the Black Entrepreneur Blueprint movement with your family and friends and everybody via social media. Each and every week, we get more and more downloads that's attributed to you, the BEB family. So let people know about the podcast. Let them know about the blog. Check everything out. Go to blackentrepreneurblueprint.com and you can get my free ebook about how to build a business. So I really appreciate you guys sharing because once again, each and every week we get more and more downloads. And before we sign off, once again, if you are interested in building your business, go to nobsleadgeneration.com, nobsleadgeneration.com. Hopefully you'll be one of the first 10 to get in, and we're going to teach you how to consistently generate new leads for your business. Once again, no leads, no prospects, no customers, no sales, no business. You don't want to be in that category. Now, if you need to connect with me anything long, hit me on my email, jjones@blackentrepreneurblueprint.com, JAYJONES @blackentrepreneurblueprint.com. Facebook, go hit my page, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, and hit the like button. Twitter, jjones001. That's JAYJONES 001. Instagram, connect with me on Instagram, jjones for real, JAYJONES 4 REAL. YouTube family, go to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Go to YouTube, type in Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, hit that subscribe button. I have additional content on YouTube that is not on the podcast. Even though the podcast goes to YouTube, there's additional content. Also, if you want to be included in the BEB text line for notifications and special reminders, text BEB, like Black Entrepreneur Blueprint, to 555-888. BEB to 555-888. LinkedIn, connect with me via LinkedIn. Go there and look for J Jones, Black Entrepreneur Blueprint. Connect with me there. If you need me to come out and speak at a university, a college, a church, an organization, or for my book tour, go to bookjjones.com, fill out a short form, and I'll get right back to you. And I know this was a lot of information, so you can go to bebconnect.com, and all of the information and all of my connections and everything are there. bebconnect.com, and I have all my links for everything. Love you guys. I'll see you same time next week. Peace.